To fly like birds, our bodies would need to be entirely re-engineered. Flight is not just about wings. It is about strength, weight, and balance. Birds are light. Hollow bones reduce their weight, making their skeletons strong but delicate. Their muscles are concentrated in the chest, powering their wings with immense force. Every flap of a bird's wing consumes energy, demanding precision, endurance, and efficiency. Humans, as we are far too heavy. Our bones are dense, our muscles are arranged for walking, not soaring. For us to fly, evolution would demand sacrifice. Smaller bodies, wider chests, arms that stretched into massive wings, layered with feathers instead of fingers. We would become creatures of the air, half human, half avian. And with that transformation, everything about our lives would be rewritten. Comparison to history and reality. Throughout history, our inability to fly has shaped civilization. We built ships to cross oceans, trains to cross continents, planes to cross skies. Flight required machines because nature never gave it to us. But if we had evolved to fly, cities, trade, even wars would look entirely different. Instead of building roads and vehicles, we may have built towers and cliffside dwellings, designed to launch us into the air. Borders would not be drawn by rivers or mountains. They could be crossed in minutes by wings. Armies would not march. They would swarm, like flocks of ravens darkening the sky. The entire course of human history would be unrecognizable. So, let's walk through this new reality, step by step. Step 1, childhood. From the moment we are born, everything changes. Human infants would not just crawl or walk, they would train their wings. Just as birds test their feathers before their first flight, children would practice gliding from low branches, learning balance before they ever take the skies. Step 2, daily life. Imagine commuting not on crowded roads, but in open air. Skies filled with people gliding from one place to another. Entire economies would be structured around flight. Instead of cars and highways, society would rely on skyways, designated flight paths, with rules to prevent mid-air collisions. Step 3, architecture. Our buildings would rise taller, more open, with wide ledges and platforms instead of streets. Doors would not open onto sidewalks, but onto launch points. Cities might hover along cliff edges, where taking off was easier. The higher the building, the more valuable it would be for those who live in the skies. Step 4, warfare. Here, the skies would become battlegrounds. Aerial combat, not with planes or drones, but with humans themselves. Battles fought above valleys, ambushes from clouds. Weapons would be designed not just for ground, but for the air. History's greatest wars would not have been fought in trenches, but in the open skies, where soldiers fell not onto mud, but into endless air. Step 5, evolution of society. Flight would not be free. It would consume energy. Calories would be burned at astonishing rates. Entire diets would shift. Humans would require far more food, rich in energy, to fuel their wings. Agriculture would not just feed walking humans, but flying ones. Civilizations might worship the skies themselves, seeing flight as divine. Step 6, the environment. The natural world would reshape with us. Forests would become highways. Cliffs would become cities. Predators and prey would face new dynamics. Humans, no longer bound to ground, could hunt from above or escape danger by taking to the air. Step by step, flight would transform not just our bodies, but our world. The human experience. But beyond science, beyond history, what would flight feel like? Imagine freedom, not as an idea, but as a physical reality. No roads, no borders, just the wind beneath your wings. Perhaps wars would still scar the skies. Perhaps hunger would still haunt us. But flight would give humanity a new perspective, literally above it all. And yet, with that gift would come a cost. We may lose the very things that define us. Our hands, designed for tools, may become wings. Our weight, our size, reduce the air. Would we still build machines? Still shape civilizations with stone, metal, and fire? Or will we become something entirely different, less human, more bird? The bigger picture. In the end, flight is a dream written deep within our history. A dream that gave us myths, inventions, and eventually machines that carried us into the sky. But if evolution had granted us wings, the world would be unrecognizable. A planet of towers and nests, of airborne wars and skybound cultures. A humanity shaped not by the ground we walk on, but by the skies we claimed as home. And so, perhaps the real question is this: do we envy the birds because they can fly, or do they envy us because we learned to dream of it? What if humans could fly like birds? The answer may never be written in our DNA, but it is already written in our imagination. Music swells, fade to black. And if humans could fly, what else could we become? What if we never needed sleep? That is a story for another time.